Alright, this is a recap of my key signatures lesson from this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and walk through it again so that we have video proof of what we were working on. So, we were talking about key signatures, as you can see by all of these lovely pictures that are up on our screen right now. And when we look up what a key signature is, that is, if I just type what is a key signature in music into the Google, it's going to go ahead and say key signature, musical notation, the arrangement of sharps, flats, particular line space, musical staff. Okay, cool. Now, like, wait, what? Right, and this is how a lot of you guys look at me, like, I'm so confused, what the heck does that even mean? So, let's go ahead and break that down. First, if you forgot what accidentals were, video is included in the slide deck of this. You need to understand what a flat, a sharp, and a natural are in order to actually be able to understand what a key signature is. Emergency meeting, real quick. 5-second review of what these are, right? So, if I am this first guy right here, and it's a little bit blocked by me being in the corner, but you can get the point. This is a flat. Describe my task. Oops. Describe my task down here in the corner is what that would say if I didn't have it blocked by the little thing. So, my task as a flat is to take a note and make it sound a little bit lower, right? Make it sound a half step lower. My task, if I was a natural, would be to return a note that was altered by either a flat or a sharp back to regular land. And my task, if I was a sharp, would be to raise a note by a half step. So the next slide, you're going to see this piano. So here's what I mean. And sorry, it's kind of a splotchy photo, but, you know, I did my best. If I was an F to start my life, say I am the note F. Okay. If I was going to apply a sharp, I would jump up to this black key and call myself F sharp instead. If I wanted to return back to just being plain white key F, we would put a little natural symbol on that to return to here. Similarly, if I was, say, a G and I wanted to make myself a flat note, if I was a G flat, I would move down a half step to this black key. Notice spots where I have two keys that run into each other, like E and F. Notice they're both white keys. If I make a flat, an F flatter, it's going to become an E natural. And that's something we'll talk about when we talk about enharmonics. But for now, we just want to recognize, oh, adding a flat or a sharp or a natural changes where that note would be placed. Okay? Alrighty, so key signatures then are a set of rules, right? An accidental happens accidentally. It happens once in a while to a note for a certain reason. But what about if a whole song has a certain mood to it and we want to make all these notes flat or all these notes sharp forever? We put a key signature. We're setting up the rules of the game or the rules of the song, right? Okay, so look at where that accidental lands. So they're going to put it on the staff in the beginning. So for example, this first one, these arrows are moving to freak you out a little bit, but this first one is falling through the third line. So every good boy, or empty garbage before, right? Our third line is a B. That means that B is going to be flat. If I look at this one, falls inside the top space, and we know our spaces spell F-A-C-E, that means this top space E, all of our E's are going to be flat. Now, it doesn't mean just top space E is flat. It means all E's are flats. Low E's, high E's, middle E's, 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 they're all flat. Same for the B's, okay? They are flat forever, unless there's an accidental that says natural. Okay. So, another emergency meeting. We gotta stop to talk about this, and you guys are like, stop reporting, Miss G, but it is what it is. Alrighty, so if we want to think about this a different way, we're going to go ahead and put this into one of our games that we've all been playing lately. So a key signature is basically saying, who's the imposter? And we're saying that ahead of time, so maybe we're all imposters, and we get to know who the other imposters are with us, but a key signature is telling us who's the imposter for the game. And if a note has an accidental, they're just kind of sus, right? Are you an imposter, or are you not? But for sure, whatever happens in the key signature, those are our people who are imposters, which means some of these games have 3 imposters, and some of them have 2, and some of them have 1. So we're going to do a little practice with that. We're going to figure out who our imposter is. And I might need to move myself out of this image real quick so that you can see who the imposters are in this game, or maybe I will just move myself around. I'll pick a different corner to sit in. There I go. All right. So if I look at this, what notes are the imposters? So here's our little helper guide up top, in case we need help with where notes fall in our staff. But let's look. This is 4. Okay, so there's 4 imposters we got to pick out. And the first one falls on B. Nice. So red. Our second one falls on E. All right. Our third imposter, that's going to be this guy down here, because they kind of go in a zigzaggy order. This guy, F-A, right, our second space. So dark green is an imposter. And then lastly, D, being our top line, right? So it would be like red, blue, dark green, and pink would all be our imposters for round 1. There's only 4 rounds, I promise. Okay, round 2. I put some sharps now. Now there's 2 sharps. And if we look, the sharps actually have to go through that line. So if I look at this first one, I'm taking a look at this first sharp up on top is F sharp. So black, right? And then I look at this one. This one's kind of weird. It's in between. So where this falls is between, it's our third space, F-A-C. Okay? So we'd have F sharp and C sharp as our imposters. Right? So those would be our notes that are always sharp if we're in this key signature. Here we go. Whoa. That's a lot of imposters. Alrighty. Now, here's a trick. When they start, if you notice something, we see F, that's going to be our first imposter. C is going to be our second imposter, because those ones were also in the last example. But then we add this up top, and that's actually not featured here. So if I go 1 higher than F, we're going to have our good buddy G sharp, so purple, right? Then it moves to 4th line, empty garbage before dad, right? D, or every good boy does. So D sharp. Then it comes down, we have an A, right? F-A-C-E, so A sharp. And then lastly, we have this top space E, which is going to be light green. So we would actually have all 6 of these guys over here are going to be our sharp fellows. Our imposters, I think I got 1 more round. Boom. And this is our last round. I guess I think I'm just doing 3, or did I do 4? I'll just do 3 for this video because it's already 6 minutes long. So this one only has 1, right? And that 1 is going to be our 3rd line. Every good boy. B, middle line, which means red is our only imposter, right? And that means for our whole song, all of our B's are going to be flat, right? So, 2-second recap. I'm going to go backwards through these. Oh, wait. I did have one last one. If we have the example that this is nothing at all, that means that would be a game of all crewmates. Everything is natural. We don't have to do anything weird to our notes unless there's an accidental. Clarinets, trumpets, we love to live in this land. This is usually the land we live in, right? We have B naturals and C and E naturals in our life. On the other hand, if I played flute, well, I do play trombone. When I play trombone and I see all naturals like that, I start freaking out because I know that all my B's are going to be 4th position instead of 1st position, and that gives me a little bit of stress. But in this example, we would have nothing set up in the key signature, so we'd have to think then, oh, okay, everything is natural, right? And nothing has an alteration to the note. So that's my recap real quick on what we went over when we talked about key signatures and how to figure out which notes in our key signatures are suspicious.